hashtag abolish NATO. Does that sound familiar to you? Well, if like me, you go to the trending tab to look for drama and controversies on Twitter, you would see at the top is that very hashtag. Hashtag abolish NATO. So those living under a seeming crusted rock may be asking, what the fuck is a NATO? NATO is an acronym standing for the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which was created as a response to the Soviet threat back during the Cold War. For a long time, it's been really fucking useless, like it's a dying rock, but now it's finally getting its shit together and uniting against Putin, who's trying to invade Ukraine. Now you might now be wondering, wait, that sounds kinda pog. Which dipshits are making that trend on Twitter? To that I say, yes, it is pretty pog indeed, and the answer to that, well, it's the Russians. For those not completely in the know, Russia has launched a huge-scale disinformation campaign on social media, as well as spreading it through their own news outlets. This hashtag is just one of the many attacks orchestrated by the Russian cabal, most likely using a troll farm. I'll explain what a troll farm is later in the video, it's pretty important. As much as I am supporting Ukraine, I do admit, the Russians are some sneaky fucking bastards. Like, these are some 500 IQ big brain plays. Russia understands that no matter how much a country may want to support Ukraine, if they can fool that country's people with bullshit, they can split up the public and cause tons of internal problems, basically indirectly spanking a country by using the stupid people in it. But what methods are they using to do this? And that comes in two main forms. The first is, like I've mentioned before, which are getting things like hashtag abolish NATO trending with troll farms. Troll farms are essentially paid troll groups that interfere on media sites to cause political discourse. That was a bit of a mouthful, so I think it's better if I explain a little bit more. Right now, practically the whole world minus China and a few Russian puppets are supporting the people and country of Ukraine. Some people in these troll farms may spread bullshit to misinform people, and others may use an underhanded post to basically get the Twitter junkies to not focus on the main goal and instead focus on trivial bullshit and fight amongst each other, aka divide and conquer. Because having an opinion on Twitter is basically like taking a fat diarrhea shit in someone's cereal, these dumbasses misdirected by a troll will now fight each other instead of uniting against a common enemy. So with the hashtag abolish NATO shit, we have a bunch of fucktards instead spouting unimportant political views. So now you have some libtards and conservatards just fucking going at it, like they're pulling their cocks out and trying to see who can insert their small johns in the other's asshole first to block the shit coming from them. Fortunately for the Russians, and unfortunately for the rest of us, there are some truly unintelligent people that, because of that trending hashtag, do genuinely think that we should fully dissolve NATO, which, well, those guys got played harder than Hillary Clinton by her hubby Bill.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Now, the second way Russians are bending over everyone else and butt-fucking them is by spreading bullshit videos and false information through their news outlets and on other platforms like YouTube and TikTok. This includes stuff like accusing Ukraine of some terrible shit like chemical warfare or committing genocide on civilians, and they also have supposed real-life battles, which are really just historical battles on footage. Now, here's the thing. This might be the single most fucking big brain play ever. This has the obvious effect of tricking people into possibly being against Ukraine by projecting their own issues and framing Ukraine for all of those. This also does one more thing, which will sound very conspiracy theory-like, but let me explain. Most of us can acknowledge that everyone should have their opinions and views allowed on the internet. As we all know, recently politicians have been beating big social media platforms over the head with a good old beer bottle and trying to take control of them. Now that Russians are spreading a lot of BS and there's a clear need to block this sort of bullshit from getting around, here comes the question. What standard do you create to block these videos and not block other ones? And by standards, I mean like an algorithm. And the answer is, well, there is no real method to create that. So the social media companies are just forcefully blocking and banning stuff themselves. But this becomes a weapon that can be easily used by countries like the US, whose powerful politicians can use this to get more control over the platforms and then censor them. They can accuse huge tech companies of purposefully spreading misinformation and not cracking down against the Russians. They can from there make a line from that to the company and say that the company in question were in cahoots with the Russians. Now, why is that so important? Well, here's the thing. If the government gets power, do you think they'll ever give it up? Absolutely the fuck not. So this can become a mean for other governments to limit free speech, which is obviously a really bad thing and exactly how you degrade a country and create shit tons of internal strife. So it again becomes a way to divide and conquer their opponents, which I just have to say, seriously, it's so impressive, just really freaking scary. I have to say, Putin really is one frightening and crazy motherfucker. It's funny how many memes there are of him, and seeing all that kind of shit on a daily basis, it just makes you drop your guard when it comes to him. But this is a real reminder to everyone just how fearsome of a fucker he is. Like, this dude is a former KGB member, which means that it was his old job to take orders from the government and make their opponents disappear. Man, I feel like this video will get taken down or maybe spam reported by some Russian bots. So I'm just giving a notice to everyone. If I don't post again, you know what happened. Vladdy Daddy Senpai noticed me, but just not in the good way. Before I wrap up the video, I just want to say these fucking Ukrainians are batshit crazy. In a good way. Like, I understand that Russia isn't throwing their full military weight, but god damn, I feel like I'm speaking for a good majority of us, but I didn't expect Ukraine, to last this long. I expected them to fall in like 3 days, but they pulled a goddamn M1 Garand from their urethra and they're smacking Russians back to Moscow. Like, this is some seriously impressive shit. They managed to hold out long enough for the EU and US to remove their thumbs from their assholes and actually do something about Russia. And Zelensky too. That crazy fuck, when offered to seek asylum in another country, said, "I need ammunition, not a ride." This dude really has like a huge pair of steel balls. Like, he's just rubbing his Slavic nuts right across Putin's nose and just smearing sweat and lint all over him. This man is seriously doing a fantastic job to hold the people together and keep morale up. Anyway, that's my piece. Let's go Ukraine, show Putin what the fuck is up. See you all later. Have a decent day. Ja.